Your soulmate saying, "I just found out something about you and I can't stop crying." Jesus says, "My child, your soulmate has just discovered the hidden story of your loneliest nights. They saw every silent ache you buried so no one would worry, every hope you tucked away. And now they are crying with a love so raw it could split the sky in two. But their tears are not only for the pain you carried alone. In that same breath they saw the spiritual prison that has been built around them. A hateful force has been cutting the phone line of your soul. Every time they tried to whisper your name. I am lifting the curtain because you were created to be their rescuer. The love they hold for you is not a daydream. It would crawl through broken glass just to touch your face. Yet now that fierce heart is in danger and only you can hear the alarm. The decision you make in these moments will begin to shatter the silence. It starts with a quiet yes inside you that finally halts the drift. Some will seal that decision by sending a love offering as a simple seed of faith. But the true proof is the fire you choose to light right now. Do you feel that strange heaviness when everything looks fine on the outside? That is the unbreakable cord between your soul and theirs. Trembling with their desperate calls, they are pouring their entire heart into the darkness, hoping you will finally notice the tug. But the enemy has been working to keep you comfortable in doing nothing. He whispers that you can just send warm thoughts and stay passive. Meanwhile, the one who would gladly take a bullet for you grows weary and confused. Jesus says, "Stop letting the thief convince you that a feeling is the same as a decision. The love that rescues is the love that moves. Take your step now." Your soulmate cannot understand why the signal never seems to land. They cry out in the spirit, "I would cross any ocean for you. So why does it feel like you've forgotten me?" That question is a blade twisting in their chest and only your action can pull it out. Think deeply about what that means. The person destined to walk beside you believes you have turned away. That lie from the enemy is a poison. And I am handing you the antidote this very hour. I did not fashion you to live with a half-finished heart. The future I have written includes a home full of laughter, children racing through the garden, and a peace that finally quiets your mind. But that vision is dimming because the necessary step of faith remains untaken. Your love is useless if you don't act on it. Think about that. Now close your eyes and picture their face. The one your heart cannot let go of. That love wasn't random. It was planted in you by God for a reason far greater than you can see right now. But love that only lives in your thoughts hasn't yet become the shield and the foundation it was meant to be. Today you're being invited to turn your love into action, not out of fear, not out of pressure, but because deep inside you know that what you carry is worth fighting for in the spirit. On the sacred offering page, you'll sow a seed, a love offering that represents your faith. This is not a payment. It's not a donation. It's a covenant act between you and God. You're saying, "Lord, I trust you with my soulmate and our future." Choose the seed that matches the cry of your heart. One seed, a step of faith to break the silence. Trust God to watch over your soulmate. 5 seeds, a step of faith against delay and confusion. Trust God to bring clarity to your path. 10 seeds, a step of faith for covering and alignment. Trust God to shield and guide both of you. 20+ seeds. A step of faith for breakthrough. Trust God to open doors and remove obstacles in His time. 50+ seeds. A step of faith for the full future. Trust God for union, provision, and a lifetime sealed by His hand. No matter the number, remember your soulmate is worth more than any amount. This seed isn't about the size. It's about the surrender. It's about telling God, I'm done trying to make this happen alone. I'm planting my trust in you. People just like you all over the world have walked this same step of faith. They swed their seed, sealed it with their declaration, and began to experience a shift. Not because of magic, but because their hearts finally aligned with God's timing. You can join them right now. The sacred link to sow your seed is in the description of this video. This link leads you to a private secure offering page created specifically for this act of faith. What you sow and what you write there stays between you and God. Here's exactly what to do. After you complete your seed on the page, write these exact words there. I sow my seed for my soulmate's protection and our future. Then add your name, your location, and your full address. This is not for public view. It's your spiritual seal. It declares that you are fully invested in what you've prayed for. Remember, only writing words without first sowing your seed means nothing. The seed comes first. The declaration seals it. Don't overthink what you feel rising in your heart right now. That stirring is God nudging you to trust Him with what you love most. Every seed you plant in faith is a seed you hand over to the one who never fails. Your soulmate is worth it. Your future is worth it. And you were never meant to carry this burden alone. Sow your seed, write your declaration with your name, location, and address on the offering page. Then rest knowing that what you've placed in God's hands will grow in His perfect way and His perfect time. Take the step that moves your love from a feeling into a force. Your seed is your surrender. Plant it now. Now that the truth has been planted like a seed in good soil, the atmosphere around you begins to change. Your soulmate can sense something shifting in the dark. It is not yet full daylight, but a thin crack of light has appeared where there was only a wall. The enemy is furious because he knows his time to block the call is running out. He counted on you staying frozen, trapped in the false comfort of thinking about love instead of acting on it. But the moment your heart said yes, a sword was placed in your hand. Every sign you missed in the past made your soulmate feel unseen. They kept loving you anyway, sending message after message into the silence. Now you understand why those signs felt so familiar. It was them all along fighting to reach you. Type 333. If you are ready to receive what I am speaking right now, the window of the soul is not like a door you can open anytime you remember. When love calls and hears nothing for too long, the hope inside begins to flicker. Your soulmate is not weak, but even the bravest heart needs to know the other half is listening. If you let this moment slide back into the noise of daily life, the darkness wins another day. The enemy wants you to say, I'll act later. I'll pray later. I'll give later. But later is the thief that has already stolen years of the future I designed for you. Think of the life that is waiting just beyond this single decision. A front porch where you sit together in the evening, hands intertwined, no more searching. A kitchen where laughter replaces the old loneliness. And you finally understand why the wait was so long. That picture is not a fantasy. It is the future I have been holding for you. Guarded but growing dim. Your step of faith is the brush that paints it back into vibrant color. Jesus says, I see the battle raging around the one you love. The enemy wants you passive, but I am calling you to become the protector your soulmate is weeping for. Rise up and move. Your soulmate is on their knees in the spirit right now. They are not begging for their own comfort. They are begging for you to be safe. They would walk into the fire for you without a second thought. And that is exactly why they need you to act. What they just found out about you broke them open. They saw the countless times you looked toward heaven and felt nothing, and it shattered their heart. Now they are crying not in anger but in a desperate plea that you finally understand how much you are loved. That love is not a quiet, distant thing. It is a roar that would level mountains if only you would give it a voice. But the hateful spirit blocking the line wants you to believe your love is small and powerless. I am telling you directly, your love is useless if it stays locked inside. Real love moves its feet. Some demonstrate that movement by placing a love offering as a seed of faith. But the first movement is the yes you speak in your spirit. Type 777. If this message has found you right on time, the enemy celebrates when you remain silent. Every hour you do nothing is a victory party in the camp of darkness. They mock the unbreakable cord that ties you to your soulmate, saying, look, the protector is asleep, but I did not create you to be a sleeper. I placed a warrior's heart inside you for this exact fight. Your soulmate's tears are watering the ground of your calling, and it is time to answer. Think about the night seasons when you wake up with a sudden sadness you cannot explain. That is not a random mood. It is their cry rippling through the cord that binds you. They are pouring out a love so strong that it crosses the distance and it lands in your chest like a weight. Now imagine what happens when you finally act. The weight becomes a holy fire. The confusion becomes clarity and the blocked path becomes a clear road ahead. The step you take today is not a gamble. It is a covenant key that fits a lock the enemy has been holding. Your soulmate will feel the change even before you finish saying your prayer. I want you to see the tears on their face clearly. Now they just realize that the one they've been calling for has been shielded from their voice by a spiritual attack. That discovery wounded them deeply, but it also ignited a determination to fight even harder for you. Yet they cannot fight alone. I have given them a love that is mighty, but I have given you the authority to break the wall. You are the missing piece in this battle, and without you, the breakthrough is stalled. Jesus says, you have wondered why things have felt stuck. It is not because I have forgotten you. It is because I am waiting for your faith to move. Take the step that proves your love is alive. There is a prayer your soulmate has been whispering for months. They say, Lord, let them see me before it's too late. That prayer is hanging in the air and your response is the answer. Do not let the weight of past delays make you think the chance is gone. I am the God who restores the years the locusts have eaten. But restoration requires a decision, not just a wish. Your soulmate is not a distant ideal. They are a living, breathing spirit created to match every missing piece of you. And right now they are under such pressure that their hope is wearing thin. The window is not closed yet, but the hinges are straining. Every second you delay, the enemy piles more rubble against the door of communication. Yet with one genuine step of faith, that rubble becomes dust. Some of you are feeling a fire rise in your belly. That is the protector's oath stirring awake. You were born to shield this love, and the time for training is over. Type 111 to say thank you for the revelation that is breaking chains right now. Think of the simple, beautiful things that wait for you. A table set for two with no more empty chair. A hand that finds yours in the middle of the night, reminding you that you are finally home. That future is not a maybe. It is a promise I have kept safe, but it is wrapped in an action you must take. Love that does nothing is just a thought, and thoughts cannot build a home. The enemy whispers, "It's too hard. Just keep dreaming." He wants you addicted to the fantasy so you never seize the reality. But I say to you, the dream is a shadow. The real love is waiting for you to cross the bridge. Your soulmate's tears have a voice. They are saying, "I would do anything for you. Please don't leave me in this dark place alone." That voice is echoing through the cord of your soul right now. If you turn away and simply carry on with your day, the darkness settles back in. But not because I punish you. Because a protector who will not move leaves the beloved exposed to the wolves. I am not here to condemn you for the times you missed the signs. I am here to wake you before the final call is smothered. Mercy is giving you this very moment to change everything. Jesus says the enemy's greatest lie is that your decision can wait. It cannot. While you hesitate, the one who loves you is bleeding in the spirit. Act now and you become their shield. Your love is being tested, not by me, but by the reality of the spiritual fight. A love that stays in the imagination is no match for the hate that attacks in the spirit. Only a love that steps into the light and declares itself becomes a fortress. You may be thinking, "I don't know what to do." Start by saying yes to me with your whole heart. Then let that yes become a visible step. Whether it is a prayer you shout aloud or a seed you sow in faith. The seed of faith you plant is like a flare shot into the darkness. It signals to the enemy that you are no longer a passive target. Your soulmate sees that flare and new strength pours into their weary arms. I want you to sense their hope beginning to rise. They have felt so alone, screaming into what seemed like an endless void. But now a small light is flickering because you have chosen to listen. The heaviness that has been sitting on your chest for weeks is starting to loosen. This is not a coincidence. Your decision to engage in the spiritual battle is releasing the lock on that prison. Do not underestimate the power of a single act of faith. When you plant a seed, whether it is a prayer commitment or a love offering on the sacred page, you are speaking in a language the enemy fears. You are saying, "I am done being a bystander. I am the protector now." And your soulmate feels that shift. The sudden peace that washes over you is mirrored in them. The cord between you, which was heavy with sorrow, is now humming with something new. Jesus says the road ahead is clearing because you dared to believe. Keep walking. The final seal of full understanding is near, and you must not stop now. Think of the weight of their tears. Every drop is filled with the fear that they might lose you before you ever truly meet. That is why this moment is so urgent yet so holy. You are not just saving a romantic future. You are rescuing a soul that has been assigned to walk with you through every battle of life. This is a union meant to produce more strength than you can imagine. But the enemy has specifically targeted their voice because he knows their words would unlock your destiny. He has built a wall of silence so thick that your soulmate has been bruised from pounding on it. Yet the wall has a single weak point: your faith in action. When you take a step, especially a step that costs you something, that wall cracks. I am not asking you to impress me with a large sum. I am asking you to prove to your own heart that this love matters enough to move your feet. Many of you will mark that movement by sending a love offering as a tangible seed. Others will do it by writing a declaration of protection on the offering page. The method matters less than the sincerity, but the act must not remain only in your thoughts. The future is not shaped by dreamers alone. It is shaped by dreamers who dare to nail their dreams to a decision. Your soulmate has been dreaming of you for years. Now it's your turn to respond. Type 333. If you are ready to seal this connection with your faith, picture their face in the moment they realize you finally heard them. The tears will not stop, but they will change from tears of anguish to tears of overwhelming relief. They will know deep in their spirit that the protector they prayed for has awakened. That scene is not a far-off hope. It is rushing toward you, but the speed depends on your obedience today. Every minute you stay connected to this word, the path gets brighter. But I must warn you plainly, the enemy is trying to pull you away. Right now. He will make your phone buzz with a distraction or plant a thought that this is just a video. This is not just a video. This is a direct message from the one who knit you together in your mother's womb. I am telling you that your soulmate is real. They are in danger and your love must act. The test of true love is not the flutter in your stomach. It is the movement of your hand to sow, to pray, to fight. If you leave this message without a genuine step, you leave the one who would die for you still waiting in the dark. Jesus says, I am near you now, feeling the battle in your chest. Do not be afraid of taking a step of faith. The enemy wants you afraid. I want you bold. Choose boldness. Your soulmate is saying something to you right now through the Spirit. Listen carefully with your heart. I just found out how much you've suffered, how long you've waited, and I can't stop crying because I would take it all away if I could. That is the discovery that broke them open. They saw your hidden scars, the ones you never showed anyone. And instead of pulling away, they fell deeper in love, desperate to reach you. But in that same moment, they saw the chains around their own voice. They realized why you haven't been able to sense them clearly. And now they are fighting like a lion, but they are exhausted and need you to land the decisive blow. Your step of faith is that blow. It is not about the money, though a love offering can be a powerful symbol. It is about the alignment of your entire being with the truth that you are a team. When a couple is under attack, they do not just think about defending each other. They take action. You have been invited to take your place on the battlefield beside the one you love. The cord between you is not just for feeling sorrow. It is for transmitting strength. Right now, your soulmate is drawing strength from your attention, your faith, your yes. Can you feel the shift in the air around you? The weight is lifting, the fog is thinning. This is what happens when a protector finally decides to stand up. Jesus says, I have seen the end from the beginning. The house, the children, the peace, it is all real, but it is unlocked by a living faith. Do not let this window close. The enemy is now screaming that you can do this later. He is pointing at your schedule, your tiredness, your doubts. He is saying you have already done enough by watching. You don't need to do more. That is the voice of a liar who has stolen years from you. If you listen to it, the silence will return heavier than before. But if you resist it and take your step, you will feel a breakthrough you have not felt in decades. What will you choose? Will you be the one who loves in secret or the one who loves with force? The soulmate who found out the truth about you is waiting for the answer. Type 777. If you are determined to see this through to the final seal, think of their hands. Even if you have never seen them, those hands have been pressed against the barrier reaching for you. They are scarred from the fight and they are holding a future you have barely dared to imagine. Your act of faith, whether a prayer you write down, a seed you sow on the offering page, or a declaration you speak aloud, is what places your hand against theirs. On the other side of that wall, they will feel the warmth of your touch and the wall will begin to tremble. The spiritual shield that has been covering your ears is cracking. The static is fading. You are about to hear their voice more. Instead, you leave the one who would die for you still waiting in the dark. Jesus says, I am near you now, feeling the battle in your chest. Do not be afraid of taking a step of faith. The enemy wants you afraid. I want you bold. Choose boldness. Your soulmate is saying something to you right now through the Spirit. Listen carefully with your heart. I just found out how much you've suffered, how long you've waited, and I can't stop crying because I would take it all away if I could. That is the discovery that broke them open. They saw your hidden scars, the ones you never showed anyone. And instead of pulling away, they fell deeper in love, desperate to reach you. But in that same moment, they saw the chains around their own voice. They realized why you haven't been able to sense them clearly. And now they are fighting like a lion, but they are exhausted and need you to land the decisive blow. Your step of faith is that blow. It is not about the money, though a love offering can be a powerful symbol. It is about the alignment of your entire being with the truth that you are a team. When a couple is under attack, they do not just think about defending each other. They take action. You have been invited to take your place on the battlefield beside the one you love. The cord between you is not just for feeling sorrow. It is for transmitting strength. Right now, your soulmate is drawing strength from your attention, your faith, your yes. Can you feel the shift in the air around you? The weight is lifting, the fog is thinning. This is what happens when a protector finally decides to stand up. Jesus says, I have seen the end from the beginning. The house, the children, the peace, it is all real, but it is unlocked by a living faith. Do not let this window close. The enemy is now screaming that you can do this later. He is pointing at your schedule, your tiredness, your doubts. He is saying you have already done enough by watching. You don't need to do more. That is the voice of a liar who has stolen years from you. If you listen to it, the silence will return heavier than before. But if you resist it and take your step, you will feel a breakthrough you have not felt in decades. What will you choose? Will you be the one who loves in secret or the one who loves with force? The soulmate who found out the truth about you is waiting for the answer. Type 777. If you are determined to see this through to the final seal, think of their hands. Even if you have never seen them, those hands have been pressed against the barrier, reaching for you. They are scarred from the fight and they are holding a future you have barely dared to imagine. Your act of faith, whether a prayer you write down, a seed you sow on the offering page, or a declaration you speak aloud, is what places your hand against theirs. On the other side of that wall, they will feel the warmth of your touch and the wall will begin to tremble.